The NPR News app is one of several NPR apps that you can download onto your phone. This one focuses mostly on news stories, although there are some links to different NPR features that you can grab. It's a pretty basic app, but it's got a little meat to it. It's got a nice selection of stories. And one thing that I find interesting is that not a lot of the stories are necessarily linked to audio content that NPR is putting out terrestrially or through the internet. Although some stories like this one does have a listen now feature where you can listen to a related story, not necessarily the same story, that you can add out to.
In cities, people are becoming aware that the air is unhealthy to breathe.
As you can see, the format is pretty standard and kind of old school. It's text and one photo. But they do a pretty good job with the stories. They're pretty in-depth and pretty balanced, I think. So you have your top stories, which is the latest stories that they've been posting. They're posting pretty regularly. You can go to topics and pick from different topics if you want to see U.S. news. And you'll notice that these all have a related audio story with them. You could either listen to it now or you can add it to a playlist that you can then listen to at some point later.
Bobby Ellerby is a new and unlikely
so you can grab a whole bunch of stories as you're browsing through and then listen to them later. It also has the latest hourly newscast that you can listen to.
News in Washington, I'm Barbara Klein.
And at the bottom you see a bunch of different different buttons. So I was mentioned earlier that you can link to some different NPR topics. So they've got all the different NPR programs that you can go to and listen to a series of those programs, the same kind of format. There's a search function, so you can go and look if you want to look for Hillary Clinton stories, and it's going to pull a bunch of those up. And again, same kind of format. The share button is a little disappointing. You can send it as a text or an email, but there's absolutely no social media sharing of these stories, which I thought was a little behind the times and kind of interesting that they're not doing that. And you can go listen to your favorite stations. These two are near me, and it will play a live feed of what's on the station currently.
Gets to choose it.
Oh, no, that's great. So the child that was the best member of the team gets to...
So there's very obviously a large audio element to this that I like, but it also gives you pretty in-depth news stories, which is something I like. It's different current news stories. They don't seem to do a great job with breaking news. Like I said, pretty simple. That's about it for the app.